Let's get back to the markets, what's happening in the here and now. Of course, digesting what went on Wall Street on Friday. Peter McGuire from trading.com joins us now. Pete, good morning to you. Boy, we are back in this tariff tit for tat. This time, though, really a domestic issue facing Donald Trump. Talk to us about it.
Well, good morning, Nadine. Yeah, I think it's hit everyone by a bit of surprise. And then the argument coming from President Trump in the sense of raising 15%. I thought it was 10, and then it's been upped in the last, I suppose, 24 hours. So there's the first part of it. The second part is what's the trade and how's it going to work in the sense of arguing the case. Section 232 refers to the provision of the Trade Expansion Act of 1962. So I believe that that's going to come into play. There's also other statutes that he's going to align himself with. And then the other side, of course, is what the Supreme Court may do later down the track. So it's very much a work in progress.
Yeah, it is. So why didn't we see more of a negative reaction on global markets, at least to end the week? You know, today will be another case in point, but it just seems as if markets don't like uncertainty, this is kind of ultimate uncertainty.
Well, it certainly is. And I mean, you saw a US dollar just nudge 98. You've seen gold up to nearly 5,100. Silver's had a big strong rally to 8,300. The Dow is up nearly 0.5%. S&P up 0.7, and the Nasdaq nearly up 1%. So they were very, very strongly bid up in the close of trade. So the market basically shrugged it off. And let's see how it rolls across Asia today. But certainly the impact is going to be felt, I think, very much in Asia today. I want to see what China and how the CSI 300 trades, and of course the Nikkei and and the Kosdaq, of course.
Yeah. Okay. And so, technically, how are we looking in terms of this Aussie market, Peter? Because even though we saw a down day on Friday, we still closed above that 9,000 level. Some early gains here today as well.
You betcha. You're nudging 9,100. In the sense, I think it's very, very strong, and it's been a nice recovery from that 8,800 sort of level, Nadine. So the uplift, and let's again just see what happens over the next couple of days as far as sentiment and how that works through to risk on or risk off. And maybe it's got a 9,200 to handle very, very shortly. Seems to be it's enjoying the fragrance of summer, and it's been a relatively nice couple of weeks as far as trade to the upside.
Okay, so when we are looking forward, do you think that we will see the US dollar continue to gain in strength?
10 years at 4.08, you've got a 2-year just under 3.5 at 348. That seems to be the consensus. What's going to happen as far as Fed Chair Powell? Is he going to stay in there till 15th of May or even longer? What happens as far as Kevin Walsh, and are we going to see rate cuts? We understand the CPI numbers and as far as also non-farm payroll and GDP numbers, that was a lot softer due to the shutdown last year. I think it came in at 1.4%. So there's the first part of it. How's it going to ignite or see traction as far as successive rate cuts, or aren't they going to eventuate? And that's the unknown at the moment, Nadine. There's a lot of water to pass under the bridge until we see, the farewell of Fed Chair Powell.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here locally, we do get inflation data this week. That GDP read disappointed in the U.S. So we'll have, building blocks, I suppose, for interest rate outlooks coming through this week yet again. What are you expecting to be a determinant in the U.S. this week in terms of data?
You're fairly light week in the sense of what we've got. Tomorrow you'll have CB consumer confidence. Friday, you've got producer price index. So there's not a lot of key data coming out. I think everyone's just inhaling or exhaling the Supreme Court decision and how that's going to be interpreted from the markets. Also, you can't discount the geopolitical concerns, and that's very much front and center with crude running fairly strongly. It's up at about 7 or 8 month highs. You've got Brent nudging 72, Nadine, WTI 66.5. So there's a lot of concern there, how that's going to roll. Are you going to see any form of strike from the US? President Trump saying that he would use Diego Garcia as the military base for potential conflict. As we know, it's 2,300 miles from Tehran, and the US can fire missiles in, but it's too far away and they won't be able to hit or counter strike. So yes, it's going to be again geopolitically led over the next couple of days.
Yeah, and I suppose we'll see that driving gold potentially this week, as well as the
Yeah.
data.
Yeah, 50, it's 5,081. It's been bid up in Asia trade already, and I think that's, got probably a 52.50 handle by end of month, which will be this week. So it seems to be a really strong drive to the upside. They're seeing a lot of momentum, and I'm not saying it's going to hit it, but I really do think that it's currently in an uptrend, and silver, little brother's strong as well at 83. So I think it could be a very strong couple of days for the precious metals market.